Hi, good afternoon. So, my name is Prateek Sharma, and I run a YouTube channel called Techie Blossom. You might have heard of it. I hope you had a good fun activity. Enjoyed it? Okay. Before I start, I just want to make a short note that these slides that you are seeing here are created in Flutter. It's a macOS desktop application that is developed in Flutter. So the animations that you will see here actually run on a Flutter application. So you will agree with me if I say that animations is an exciting topic and it's also a complex one. But thankfully to Flutter SDK, you can create complex animations easily with simple APIs. And also, you can do it in more than one ways. One of the way is to use implicit animation widget. So first, let's see what is a implicit animation widget. A implicit animation widget is a single widget, of course, that manages animation. It has a set of initial values and a set of final values. When you run the animation, the initial values get converted to final values, and you can see the changes visually on the app. These values can be color, size, position, or anything else. All of these implicit animation widgets extend a specific class called implicitly animated widget. And with the help of this class, we have two attributes that we use: curve and duration. Duration you are already aware of, but what is curve? Curve defines at what speed the values will change at a specific point in the animation over the whole duration of your animation. Here are some examples of animated widgets. Those widgets that start with the name animated, you can say these are implicit animation widgets. All of these widgets have a base widget, like animated containers base widget is container, and animated opacity's base widget is opacity, and so on. More of which you can find on flutter.dev in the widget catalog page. Let's focus on positioned and animated positioned widgets only today. So what is a position widget? Anybody? Okay. When all the widgets are present in a stack, these widgets start from top left corner. If you have to position them at a specific position in the stack widget, you have to provide positioned widget. With the help of this widget, there are 4 attributes, rather 6: top, left, right, bottom, and width and height. Using these 4 or 6 attributes, you can easily place your widget anywhere in the stack. For example, here is a bordered rectangle, which is a stack. You can consider it as a stack body, and the black box is the position widget. It is placed 20 distance away from top and 100 distance away from left. So this is how you position this widget. What animated position does? You can change the value of left, and I will show you with this animation. The box will travel towards right. It's simple. We have just changed the value of left from 100 to 800. And not only one value at a time, you can change multiple values also. The ultimate goal is to find the start x and start y coordinate of your position widget, which you can do with the help of an offset as well. This offset is a center of a rectangle with a width and height. With the help of these 3 attributes also, stack can easily identify what will be the start x and start y coordinate of your widget. Because Flutter's coordinate system starts from top left corner, the position widgets start x and start y will not be 0, 0 always. You can use position.fromRect instead of positioned if you want to position your widget using rectangle. And how you will create rectangle? Again with the 3 fields which you can provide in rect.fromCenter. Using the same technique, I was able to create this soccer ground where there is a subject width, which is SW. This is the width of the ground, and the length of the ground is SH. Now, if I have to place the top rectangle in horizontal center aligned way, I will just have to find the x coordinate, which will be the center of your width, and y coordinate, which will be half of your rectangle, which is 50, which is half of 100. And width and height I already know because there are specific dimensions of the ground. If I have to create the bottom rectangle, I just have to change the y coordinate to something else so that it is aligned at the bottom. And also, not only with rectangles, you can do this with circles. It doesn't mean if we are using rect dot from center, we cannot create other shapes. We can. And this center, again, only the offset is changed and width and height are same. So we can create circles as well. And because I said that this application is made in Flutter, these texts that you are seeing in center, the center, width, and height are also placed using position.fromRect only. So you can literally use any widget because every widget has a width and height. So moving to the animated part of it, just you add the duration of 2 seconds or anything, and rest all things are same. If I click on this circle, it will move to a new position. Why? Because the final offset of this circle or the center of this circle is moved to a new position, which is now SW by 3 and SH by 3. So this is how you can animate widgets using just the offset. Now utilizing the same concept to create soccer formation switcher. Initially, the players are placed in a 4-3-3 formation, where there are 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. But if I am switching between these formations, I can easily switch all the players at a different position. So now we have 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 attackers. How this happened? Because there were only 11 players at a time on the pitch for a single team, and they had offset 1 to 11 for 4-3-3 formation. And when we came to 5-3 formation, the offsets were different. And that's why Flutter was able to move them to a new position. Considering an example of the left bottom player, which is Jordi Alba, in 4-3-3 formation, his position was 3/4 height of the ground length. But in 5-3-2, it became 2/3, and that's why the player was moving to a new position higher up the pitch. Are you getting till now? Thank you. So, making it more complex, here are some randomly placed dots, and when I click on animate button, these dots will form something. And can you make any guesses what this will form? Which? That was correct guess, surprisingly. So, okay, let it form. Okay. So creating this flag was easy because it's a geometrical shape. There are 3 rectangles, 1 below each other, and there is a circle in the center. And there are some inner circles in the center. If you want to learn more about this, I will publish the video. It's already ready. I just have to make it public on my YouTube channel. You can check it, how I have made it. Once you finalize these offsets at how the flag will be created, you have final set of offsets. Once you are okay with all the offsets, you just have to create randomly placed initial same number of dots so that the animation takes place. That's the only trick. What about asymmetrical shapes? Symmetrical was easy, it's just maths. Any guesses now? No? Okay. It's again related to India only. So it's an India map. Thank you. Doing this was a little tricky. I had to place these dots manually by hand, and then I moved left and right to place them at the accurate position, and the same concept. The further use cases of this technique, the concept is easy, but the use cases are good. You can create an education app that can demonstrate how a single shape or one shape can be converted to a different shape, like square can be converted to rhombus, parallelogram can be converted to trapezium, or any other thing. Second example could be, you can create a digital clock where when the time gets changed, the digits will transition from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and so on. Third example could be, you can create a soccer match, you can simulate a soccer match, or you can simulate a cricket match. Fourth example, or next example, could be to create your logo with the dots as a first screen of your app, so that it becomes more eye-catchy for your users and they will probably be excited to use your app. And the last thing, please make some guesses. Only dash? These many dots are required to create dash? Okay, I will play it. So, creating Flutter logo, again, geometrical shape. Creating characters is a geometrical shape. Once you have created the characters, you can create n number of widgets, n number of words. And dash is, again, it's very messy. So, that is it. Thanks for listening me, and thanks to Flutter Conf India. Thanks Flutter Conf India for allowing me to speak here, and see you outside. Thank you. One second. You can connect me on Twitter, and you can find my contributions on YouTube, GitHub, and Medium. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? That was a cool session. There was a nice animations over here. I was so amazed seeing this. Any questions?
Hi.
Hi.
So the most common issue that we face after implementing an animation is basically jank and stutter. How do we deal with that?
I have used implicit animations. I feel that Flutter team has already done good job in creating implicit animations. When we are using controller, animated builder, which I am not using here, things can be tricky. But then you can have some optimization, like you can use const. You can use in the animated builder, you can have your child, which is not animating, as a child, and in the builder you can only rebuild those things which change, and rest of the things which are constant, you just have to put it in the child. So that's the only optimization that we can do. But Flutter is good enough to create the animations with 60 frames per second, so we can rely on it.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions?
Hello. Here. So I wanted to ask, like, have you run these demos on a mobile device?
Yeah. I forgot to mention that the Indian flag that you saw, I created first in the mobile app, and then I scaled it for this presentation.
Yeah.
The reason the way how I scaled it was generalizing the gap between two dots and the dot size. So if I change dot size and dot gap, I can also render this in mobile app. So it works. Yeah.
And it's performant.
Yeah, web also. If it is working in macOS, it will work in web. I can show you after this.
No, in mobile I don't believe so.
Sorry, I could not hear.
In mobiles I don't believe so. Like in Node and Androids, these many dots with animated position, right?
Yes. At the time of animating these, the frame rate is pretty high. The memory consumption is high, but that's only one time that you are doing. Not always you will have 1,000 widgets animating at the same time. So you can, it's a threshold, you have to decide, or you can, logos are pretty small, and you will probably use it for first screen. This animation is not useful for many places, but the examples that I shown can be used.
Also, one more question, different. Have you looked into GNSN shaders that Flutter has launched, like, for the support for that recently?
Sorry, I cannot clearly hear.
GNSN shaders, right?
No. I have used box shadow to give it a glow to the dots, and that's it. It's the animated position widget with the dot.
I believe, like, if we create this in that, although that is not Dart basically, then you will have to create it in GN languages, right? but it would be much more fun.
We will see. Let's see.
Maybe I can create an example and share.
Sure, sure. Share it with me when you are done. Any more questions? Please.
Hi. So you must have heard of Rive animations,
Yeah.
and like I would just like to know your opinions on that. Like instead of like manually doing it, they have an editor. They have things that you can easily port into any language you want, including Flutter.
Yeah.
But I would like to hear from you the advantages of just using implicit animations and things like what is given by Flutter over something that we can customize on our own.
See, Rive is for designers. Most of the animations in your app, designers are creating that. So these type of animations can be used for other animations. I mean, moving a text cannot be done in Rive. You are not making your whole app in Rive, right? Only part of your app is in Rive. So you can only have some animations made in Rive. The benefit of Rive is it can be ported to other platforms. So you make efforts, you put efforts only once and use it in other platforms. Similarly with Flutter, if you create animations using implicit widgets, it's okay. I mean, implicit, if I had to create this flag in Rive, how would I have done it? I would have manually copy pasted, right?
Yeah, exactly
I
the
did
same
the
procedure.
same thing. I did the same thing
Right.
just with little bit of maths. So it's up to you. You can try Rive,
Right.
but yeah,
Also, you must have heard of the hero widget in Flutter.
yeah.
So if you tap on it, it just opens up a whole other expanded screen. If you tap on an
Yes.
element, it
Yeah.
opens something related to it.
Yeah.
So is that also like programmable with implicit widgets, animation widgets?
I have
Can-
not tried it, but see, hero tag or hero widget works when you have two scaffolds or two
Right.
screens. The tag should be same.
Correct.
So I believe it will work in multiple screens, not
Okay.
on the same screen.
So like if you were to customize the hero widget for our own different purposes or show a different kind of animation that way.
Yeah, I have not done that, but I remember somebody has already written a post on that where there is a custom transition with the help of hero widget.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Time's up actually.
Okay. Yeah, you could connect with him afterwards. So
Sure. Thank
next, Shesh will introduce next speaker.